So this old 2004 van has got a battery from the future. This is gonna be the heart of our campervan build. So initially, I just want to say a huge thank you to Fogstar Drift. When we were thinking and planning and having ideas about how we were going to do the electrical system for our campervan build, we very quickly come to the idea that we'd like to go lithium. When we were looking for a company that makes batteries, there are a few different options in the field, but after doing some research, we come to find that Fogstar Drift seemed like the best one and the best fit for us. We then reached out to them. These guys are awesome and they've collaborated with us for these videos. They haven't given us no money, they've just hooked us up with an amazing battery. They haven't told us we have to say anything good, bad or anything about this battery. You're going to hear our own personal opinions, and again, like I say, we reached out to them. This was our choice, they didn't come to us. So in this video we're going to be unboxing some of the components that we've got with our electrical system. We've got some other cool bits just behind Jade. We're going to see how and where we think they're going to be fitting into our van build. We've got obviously our Fogstar Drift awesome battery, and we have some Renogy bits. Now there's some cool important things to say about why I've picked Renogy for the other bits, whereas on our boat we used Victron, but we'll go into that as we're unboxing them. Okay, so this is the Fogstar 560, which is a 560 amp hour battery. Now we're not going to go into too much detail of the specifics yet. We want to get this set up so you guys can see it being used, and then we'll make a video about the specifics and how well this battery performed. Look at this. So there it is, the Fogstar lithium battery 560. There's loads of reasons why we've gone for this battery, but to summarize it, it's to make our van the most modern, safest, cleanest build that we can possibly do ourselves. It's eliminating the need for a diesel heater, gas cooking. We're going to be able to do all that through this battery, and we cannot wait to get started. So obviously you've seen the battery. The next thing we need to figure out is how are we going to charge that battery. Now for this, we've gone for Renogy. Normally we do go for Victron. On our boat we had the Victron MPPT, we had a Sterling Shore Charge, and we've not used Renogy before other than our solar panels, which we've actually gone for again on this van. We've still got 200 watts worth of Renogy solar power. When looking for a DC to DC charger, which is essentially what takes the engine and charges the leisure battery, there's only a few options, and when we was looking at Victron, they only really went up to 30 amp and they were quite pricey, and I couldn't really see a way of charging more than 30 amp, or if there was a way, it was quite expensive as well. And then I came across Renogy's versions. Now this one will charge DC to DC at 50 amps, but it didn't stop there. This also does the MPPT solar charging, which means that we didn't need another unit. This will tidy up our system a little bit more, which I was all in favour of. Now on top of that, it also comes with a little Bluetooth dongle. With all of our electrical system, if you haven't already watched our boat videos when we did the electrics for that, you should already know that I'm quite thorough when it comes to testing stuff. So once we've got all this system installed and we're actually using it, I'll probably make another update video on how our system's performing, what I think works really well, and what I'd maybe change at a later date. But for now, let's just give it a quick unbox and see what sort of things come in the box when you order the Renogy DC to DC MPPT. Manuals, stickers, Bluetooth connection stuff, some cable, and I believe this might be for networking. I'm not sure yet, I'd have to read the instructions. That's really handy. It comes with a fuse already, so that's one less that I'll have to get when wiring up the system. Do you know what, this is really good as well? It actually comes with some lugs. So again, these are all the little things that can add up price wise when you're building out an electrical system. Lugs, fuses, breakers, they all add up, and every single circuit will need some form of it. And it's really important because that's what makes your system safe and will avoid burning down your van. So also, what I never noticed in this bag is it's actually got the temperature sensor. So that's a battery temperature sensor. You just put it around the battery and it monitors that. I believe that in extreme temperatures there will be some kind of alarm on the app maybe, but Again, I'll have to play around with it and see what happens. I haven't actually watched many YouTube videos on these things, although I have seen a video that broke down the Fogstar drift battery. Someone did a teardown and they were extremely impressed, which was another reason why when doing my research I went for them guys. Looks like we've got another network cable here. So again, with the Renogy, they have a really good network setup, and they have like an M1 panel, which we're not going to go for on this build, but I do like how it all talks, and it seems like a very nice clean system. And then this is the unit. There we go. So it gives you an idea of how big it is. This is actually quite a beefy unit, but look at the heatsink that it comes with. So obviously anything that's some form of charger or things like that, they do generate heat. The max voltage for the charging is 25 volts, which how we've done our solar panels is not an issue at all. Yeah, super happy. Let's move on to the next thing. So this is the next big thing on the list, and this was so crucial to how we're going to run our system, because we wouldn't have been able to have the electrics that we would have wanted if we didn't have enough juice to power them. So this is the Renogy 3000 watt inverter charger. Let's get it open. We have the manual, we have some sort of temperature sensor. Oh, nice. And I forgot about this. This is actually a controller. So this is how you switch this on and off. So that can mount somewhere nicely. And then, yep, just nice, simple. Press switch. There we go. This is an absolute beast. This is so big. So some of the reasons why we've gone for this sort of unit over maybe something else. This can do electric hookup, which means if we go to campsites, we can fully recharge our batteries. And it's also a huge inverter, which means that we can run our induction hob and also kettles, laptops, camera gear, fridge. The reason we went for the 3000 watt is just because we wanted to have the extra buffer if we were running more than one thing at once. For example, if you've got a 2000 watt induction hob and then you turn on, for example, the laptop charger plus some other things, and you only have a 2000 watt inverter, you will overclock that inverter, you could break it, damage it, and also you could trip it out. So with 3000 watts, it means that we have a huge buffer to be able to use our electrics all at the same time if we want to. We probably won't do that, but I just like having the capability and the safety kind of factor to it as well, knowing that really this is more than capable of everything that we need. So one of the things that always comes up actually when we was building our boat Talisman out and things like that is people always say, why are you adding so much tech and so much things to something that isn't never going to be worth the amount of value that you're putting in? And to that I say, well, this is a hell of a lot cheaper than buying a brand new van, and even a new van won't come with the creature comforts that this is going to be able to give us. This essentially means that we can go off grid almost anywhere for quite a duration of time, and we don't have to worry. And that's exactly what we wanted with our boat and what we got with our boat. So now it's just time to do it with our van. But the thing I haven't done yet is actually see where it's all going to fit. So we've quickly just got the tape measure out, and we've roughly measured how long we think that the bed is going to be, which is so far 6'3". That's a massive bed. None of us are 6 foot, so we should be fine with that. Just wanted to see what sort of gap I'm left with. So now the only places really I can think of putting these things are in this corner. One of the reasons you want your electrical system to be quite close together is because it reduces the distance that the cables need to be. Now if you have a longer cable, it'll need to be a thicker cable, and also you'll get voltage loss as well. So there's a lot of calculations you need to be careful with. I also want to caveat this with, I'm not an electrician, so take everything I say with a pinch of salt. I'm just kind of regurgitating information that I've read and picked up over the years. Okay, we have loads of space. Like there's a good probably 5 to 6 inches there. We'll have to leave a bit of space around the battery because you do need to clamp your batteries down to make sure that they're not going to move, jump or get damaged while you're driving. They need to be secure. Our van battery is just in front of the passenger chair, so that's not too long of a run. I'm pretty happy with that, rather than having the 2.5-3 meters if it went to the back. So yeah, essentially this is where we're going to put the battery. Now, next up, we've got the solar and the DC to DC. We're thinking we're just going to have like this as the electronics area, so this could pretty much just go on the side there. We're going to have a door up here, it could potentially go a little bit higher. Next up is the inverter charger. So for that, we are thinking it's going to have to go under the first section of the bed. When I was first envisioning all of this, I did think it might be able to go underneath the driver's seat or potentially next to the battery. It's a big unit, so unfortunately that is not possible. About there. So obviously it will be on the floor, that will be screwed down, it's got the holes so it will be mounted safely. But then you've got all the cabling on this side, really close to the battery and the bus bars, again reducing the amount of cable needed and the risk involved. So yeah, if you let us know down in the comments what your thoughts are of our idea of how to build this out so far, we'll really appreciate it. We're going to get a second opinion tomorrow as well. We're heading up north, in fact, to a cool company which we spoke to at the camping caravan show at the NEC, and we're going to head up to them because we need to get some bits anyway, like breakers and fuses. So we're just going to run it by them and see what they think of this build at the same time. So we're heading to Jackson Leisure. It's an online store and they have a shop obviously, but we were chatting to these guys when we were at the camping caravan show, and they seem very knowledgeable, and having a look at their online store, they have a lot of stuff. I might be able to find some things that I didn't know that I needed to, you know, fulfill this build. So yeah, that's the plan, that's where we're going. We get a little crazy. No, we're never gonna survive.
We're gonna get copyrighted now.
Oh, it's because I sing just like Seal.
Exactly.
Jackson. Oh no. So unfortunately they were closed. On Google they say they're open. On their Facebook it says they're open. The reason why we didn't call them straight away before we left is because when we was leaving they were meant to be closed anyway. It's like between 8 and 9, so there was no point calling at that point. And I did think, you know, it's a leisure company on bank holiday, I thought they might have been open for that reason, but they're not. So I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do with the electrics right now, but we're going to head home anyway and have a little think about it.